Okay, so in this video, I'm going to talk about conditional statements in Python. So far, we haven't discussed about branching or any conditional statements in Python. So in this video, we'll be discussing about what are conditional statements and how the control structure of the program can be manipulated in Python by making use of the if statement, the else statement, and the elif statement. So conditional statements are basically of two types. So they can be executed to the if keyword or the elif keyword or the else keyword. And usually we have to make use of the comparison operators. So what do we mean by that? These are also called the relational operator, in which we test some sort of condition by means of these relational operators between two operands which are passed to these relational operators. Then the branching statement, which result in some sort of branching behavior. For example, if the condition is true, and then certain code will be executed, and when the condition turns out to be false, then another section of the code is executed. And then we may also use the logical operators. So what are the logical operators? When we need to maybe mix more than one relational operator or statement involving relational operators, we can make use of the logical operators. These are of the form and, or not, etc. Another kind of branching behavior can be exhibited in the form of loops, which is the repetition of some sort of code by testing a certain condition until that condition is true. Then the section of the code following the loop block will be executed for a certain number of time depending upon what is the termination condition of the loop. So to start with, a condition is a Boolean expression with value true or false. So if the condition is true, then it will be evaluated as true, and if the condition is not true, then it will be evaluated as false. For example, the arithmetic expression 7 greater than 4 is generally true, and if we reverse or make use of the less than operator between 7 and 4, 7 is less than 4 is false in arithmetic. So we can have several statements like that which have either a true answer or a false answer. So these are the algebraic operators which you might have used in several of your preliminary courses. And for corresponding to these, we have these Python operators, greater than operator, the less than operator, the greater equal, and the less than equal, and the equals and the not equals operator. So this is the way of Python's way of representing these operators. So by means of operands, if x is greater than y, it means x is greater than y, x is less than y, x greater than or equal to y, x less than or equal to y, x is equal to y, and x is not equal to y. So when we are performing computations by means of Python code, then we sometimes have to take care of this precedence. What do we mean by precedence? It means which of the operators will be evaluated first and which will be evaluated later on. So all these relational operators have the same precedence level, means they will be computed with same precedence, and these two not equal to and equal to operator have the same precedence, but they will be evaluated after we have computed the or evaluated the relational operators. So the if statement is used to test conditions to execute certain sections of the code. For example, if age is greater than or equal to 18, it means that this condition can either be true or it can be false. If the variable age has value greater than or equal to 18, then it is true, otherwise it will be false. So if it is true, then this has to be followed by this colon as per the Python syntax. To conform to that Python syntax, we must put a colon after this if condition, and then we see this a slight bit of indentation. So this is generally controlled by the IDE you are using automatically. So then we want to print, you can have a driving license. Otherwise, if the condition is false, we are not doing anything, and then it will print move on. Another statement which can be used to enforce some sort of branching is the else statement. So it is used to execute the false part of the if statement. For example, if this condition in the if block, if condition is false, then we can make use of an else, which will be executing some other code. So in this case, it is you're too young, go ride a bicycle. So there is another statement which can also be used for some sort of branching in Python code, that is called the Elif statement. It is used to execute the false part of if statement with another condition. For example, we have this condition age greater than 18, then you should have a driving license. And if we want to find out whether the age is exactly equal to 18, then apply for a driving license. And if neither of the above two conditions are true, it means the age is less than 18, then you're too young, go ride a bicycle. So this was a brief introduction of branching or conditional statements in Python. Now we can switch to the demo in Google Colab. So let's go to the demo. Let's start with the demo. So if, for example, we have the variable age 18 and we want to make use of this if statement 18 now. So I missed a colon. So what do we want? You can have a driving license. Now if I press Ctrl Enter, so since the condition was true, so it is showing me that it is printing the statement inside the if block. So let's say if I change this to 17, and now I want to print, let's move on. So now the condition is not true, so it's supposed to print move on, as you see here. Then another sort of branching can be if age greater than equal to 18, then print the same thing. Else now if I try to print, so I'm using the age variable 17 will be used since we have not updated it in any of the other cells. Therefore we see this statement, you are too young, go ride a bicycle. Well, let's change this to 19, then I will need to compile this one also, and then I will re-execute this one. So in this case you can have a driving license. The first part of the branch is being executed. So how we can do if we want to make use of the Elif statement? So if age is greater than 18, then print you can have driving license. Else if age equal to 18, so now I just you can so I just want to change this to you apply driving license. So rather than compiling the other cell before, let's have age here. So let's say it is 19. I just press Control Enter, and then here you can see that you can have a driving license. If it is exactly 18, again Control Enter, apply for a driving license. Now this part of the branch has been executed, and let's say we make it 16, for example. So now we expect to have the last branch executed. So if you are too young, go ride a bicycle. So that was all for today's demo. Thank you. We'll see you in the next video about loops. Thank you.